purpose of that thing is to identify yourself. It doesn't do
Yeah,
anything
absolutely.
else.
I
You
agree.
don't want to
The
identify
problem is
yourself
if there's
with it.
no probable cause to stop you, then there's no probable cause. You don't have to show anything. You don't have to show shit,
Andrew, I'm
actually.
actually shocked you're taking the other side of this.
That's what it is.
I expected the answers to be flipped. Where's all of our First Amenders at? Someone go
Let's
call Brick,
go.
call John Felix, get him up in here and let them lay
Like
it
I
out
said,
for
I
us.
just really like the Constitution, and he doesn't. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I never got that.
I don't think the government should get to like fucking throw you in prison because they arbitrarily found that you didn't have an ID.
They should be able to identify you to protect the rest of us.
In the event of probable cause, though.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
if there's probable cause, though.
You are free to move about the country.
You are, but I would just show it. I'm not doing anything wrong, so I would like to.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's not legal for them to like just zip you up and throw you in prison if you don't have it. If they don't have any probable cause to take you, then they can fuck off.
I'm not going to just be a
Andrew, what if by some strange circumstance there is an Andrew Dragonfist out there who committed a crime and they happen to be looking for an Andrew Dragonfist, and you show him your ID and it says Andrew Dragonfist, even though you might not be the same Andrew Dragonfist, right? Because that's such a common name. And somehow you get wrapped up into all of these court proceedings and crazy stuff before they, it's like months of stuff until they figure out that you're actually not the same guy. Now, you just went through all of that when they didn't even have probable cause to stop you and ask you for your ID to begin with. You were just walking down the street.
It is unfortunate. I just never understood like the auditors, like you were for like, it seems to me like you're caught, like you have this thing that's for this thing, but you just don't want to use it for that thing. But yes, of course, in that situation, like it would be extremely unfortunate, but I want to stay consistent because I said it about the CPAC guy. Like if I had to deal with it for a few hours or a few days and I got arrested and I had to explain it to them, I'm sure they would sort it out eventually. I would try to not impede them and help them the best way that I can. That's honestly what I would do. Because I'm a friend. Like I have no problem with law enforcement. I'm not afraid. I don't think they're going to shoot me or wrongfully arrest me. And I would just show it to them. But that's just me. I get why people don't want to. But I don't see any other purpose for having an identification. That's what it's for.
Well, it would be in the event that you do have probable cause, right? Like the police can't just come up to you and be like, "Show me your ID," right? They can't just do that. It's the same way as they can't just come into your house. Let me ask you this then: if you weren't doing anything wrong and you have nothing in your home, that is illegal, there's nothing questionable, yada yada, and the police knock on your door and say, Andrew, we think there might be something in your house, but you're not sure, and you're like, I know there ain't shit in here, right? And would you just let them in to come confirm that there is or is not?
Probably not, because I'm worried about corruption and like planting shit. But I would like to
strange.
Well, nobody's perfect. But no, I probably wouldn't let them in my house. I would show them my ID, but no.
But showing them your ID is the same like snowball effect as it is letting them in your house. Once you open that door, you can't close it anymore. Right. So like if they approach you on the street and ask you for your ID and they had zero probable cause, nothing going on, then your lawyer can stop everything at that point and so on. But if you hand them your ID and then they find out there's like a warrant, but maybe they got the wrong guy or whatever, like all of that mess can't be stopped because you showed them your ID, right? Or for instance, if they enter your house and find a bag of cocaine or something, right? The world is ending for you at this point. But your lawyer can't stop that from that point because you let them in. So, and that's the protection of not having to just show your ID to any Tom, Dick, or Harry beat cop walking around, because that is your one protection. Like once you leave your house, your fortress is now you, right? And anything on your person. And as long as it's not in plain sight and you're not doing anything wrong, they can't come and just touch you.
No, I get why it's a law, especially when they like racially profile certain groups. I'm fine with the law. Just me personally, for my ID, like I'm not worried. So I would usually just like, I don't want to have an argument. That was my point with ICE. Like, I don't want to have like a problem with like, I'd rather just be cool with them, and they're always cool with me. Like if you're respectful and cool, and I'll just, because what if, Sarah, what if I don't show them my ID and I'm like arguing with them for a half an hour, and instead of them just looking at my ID, ruling it out and going to get the real dragon fist, that's the problem, they're arguing with me over nonsense, and he like kills somebody, and I'm fucking taking up their time for no reason when they could be looking for the actual guy they're looking
for. They know that they can't do that, but they're going to ask you and hope that you're a compliant little bitch and just hand shit over.
And also, it's their responsibility to find the correct person. It is absolutely on them. Like you as a citizen do not have the training, that you do not have the wherewithal to be able to find the criminal that they're looking for. Your job is to just go about your day in the best way you can. And it is the officer's job to prove that, one, you are the actual person that they're looking for, and two, that they have probable cause to be able to detain you or arrest you.
Yeah, but if I could help them facilitate that it's not me, and then they could go get the guy who it is, win-win.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
so, but I get what you guys say. I'm not saying that
it's up to them at the end of the day, though.
I'm not saying
they have the responsibility to do that, and if they fail to do so, that is on them. They will get reprimanded. They will be legally accounted for in that sense.
Yeah, I don't think we should remove the law. It just doesn't bother me personally, but I think we should leave it for protections for people that really could be, whatever, stereotyped, or then yeah, we should have the law.
Well, it can happen to anyone at this point. If you allow one and you set the precedence, and it bumps up to appeals and so on and so forth, and then we let that one slide, well, then everything else goes with it, and so does everybody else's privacy and right to privacy.
Yeah.
Fourth Wiseman coming in with the Big 10, final one, and then I'm going to open up the gates of hell. Goal Q&A here. Q, atheism, a nonprofit organization. Thank you so much, Fourth Wiseman, and we are going to kick it off. I've got my seats filled backstage, ready to rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you our panel. All right, ladies. Oops, I turned my camera off to help the. It always goes slow when I do the gauntlet for some reason, because everybody's plugged in. I have still two hanging out backstage. I've got Joseph and Phoenix hanging out backstage. No, we lost one. I'll give him an opportunity to jump back in if he's going to. Otherwise, we're going to stick with the 10 on screen right now. Everyone's going to get one question and answer. We're going to go round the block. Everyone gets one. We're not going to interrupt each other. If you're not talking, if I haven't invited you to talk or ask your question, you are going to hit the mute button now. Thank you so kindly in advance. Once we get through everyone's one question, then we move back into... Then we're going to move back into the normal open panel chaos. Boots are welcome, so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. We will officially be on the gauntlet then. But for now, we're going to do this in an organized fashion. I know it's kind of new. We've done it only a few times, but we're going to do it this way, and you're going to shut up and fucking listen. All right. First backstage, I had Animated Effigy. Why don't you go ahead and kick us off? If you have a question for either Bones or Andrew, pick one, please.
Andrew, Do you understand that it is not up for debate whether or not the Constitution explicitly covers everyone on U.S. soil, and that the Constitution is explicit? Where it says citizen, it means citizen, and where it says people, it means everyone on U.S. soil. Do you understand this concept?
Yes.
Then why doesn't it sound like you do every time you talk?
No, I'm just the prompt has nothing to do with foreign nationals.
It's not about foreign nationals. Everyone on U.S. soil is protected by the Constitution. So every time you go, I don't care, those are immigrants, it doesn't matter who they are. They're on U.S. soil. They get the protection of the Constitution.
Okay.
That's
not
how
the
it has
prompt.
always worked.
That's not the prompt.
I don't care about the prompt. I'm
But that's
asking
what
you
we
a
were
question.
told. You
This is
asked me
my
a
question.
That's why I don't give a fuck.
Well, this has been the
It's
main
not that I
argument
don't
through a
care
lot of your
about them
arguments through here.
personally. It's not personal. It has nothing to do with why I'm here, which is to debate the prompt,
Personal,
which is that these
especially when you bring up
policies are
replacement theory.
detrimental to America, not foreign nationals. I don't care if the Constitution affords them the same rights. I don't care if they have.
Well, you should, right?
But I don't.
You should,
It's
because
not
the
prompt.
Constitution is applied like that. If you can do that to people who are immigrants, you can do it to people who are citizens. Do you not get that?
No, I get it. That's the same argument that Bones try to make. If they could do it to them, they will try eventually to do it to you. But again,
No, they have been doing it to us.
No,
There
they
are
haven't.
people
I
getting
didn't
caught
get
up in
arrested and
this.
I'm not caught up by ICE. Are you? You seem to be fine. You look like you're in America. So no, it's not affecting me in any way. I'm not afraid of ICE.
So because it doesn't affect you, then it doesn't matter.
It doesn't affect Americans, so it's not the prompt. It's again,
so it
it's not
doesn't
me
affect
saying that I
Americans, it
don't
doesn't
care
matter.
personally. Can you make this distinction? It's not about my personal feelings. I don't care in reference to this debate because it's not relevant to the prompt, which is it's detrimental to America.
Yeah, and people who are immigrants, even people who are undocumented immigrants, are in America. And when you allow the violation of the rule of law in America, it's a detriment to America, regardless of if you think it's a detriment to Americans.
Okay, so I'm going to show you why that's wrong. If we get invaded by a foreign nation and we
You're
kill
not being
them,
invaded. Do you believe in replacement theory? Is that what this is?
I let you ask your question, so let me counter the question. And we kill them on American soil. They're on American soil. That's what you said was important. And we kill them. Is that a detriment to America because they're on American soil when we did it?
That's just analogous.
No, it's not. You said the immigrants
Yes,
are on American soil.
Invading
That's
armies are like the
reason
exception for a shit ton of things as far as rights in the Constitution.
For reasoning for us for why it should matter to Americans because they're on American soil. You just said that. That was the reason why it matters. So I'm telling you,
not an invading army. Do you not understand the difference between an invading army and just an immigrant? Do you not think that there's a different, like, that's a category error at all for you to conflate those two?
The same.
How good some of the tacos are. That might
you think it's the same? Once again, replacement theory. Do you believe it?
I believe it's a spectrum. That is happening on a certain level. I already showed that in New York, that was 20% immigrants 20 years ago is now 40% immigrants. That is a replacement of the population. Like, I don't care about like if the words make you feel bad. That's the definition.
It doesn't make me feel bad. It makes me feel bad for you because you're an idiot.
No, it went from 20% foreign nationals to 40% foreign nationals.
But you just said that those people were all citizens, though. So at heart, the heart of your argument is they're getting rid of white people, right? That's the heart of your argument, right? You don't like that they're getting rid of white people, right?
It has nothing to do with them being white. I'll take Japanese.
Oh, really? Then why do you care? New York is 40% immigrant now.
It's the type of immigrants that you get. New York is a
type of immigrants. They're not white immigrants.
No, it has nothing to do with being white or black. It has nothing to do with color.
You're the one bringing up replacement theory, which is a white nationalist dog whistle.
No, I'm telling you.
Wrap it up.
You're calling me racist.
I'm good. I'm good.
It has nothing to do with their color.
Sure, buddy.
No, I'm telling you why I would want Japanese immigrants. You know, there was some giant, I think it was the World Cup. All the Japanese section stayed after, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And they were cleaning up their section because, like, part of their culture. So I'll take all of them. The ones that want to come here and shit on my country and commit fraud and then blame me and call me racist for noticing, they can go fuck themselves. Is that clear?
All right. Spin City, I'll leave it to you. You were next in line. You are muted still.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay. I changed my headset tonight so I didn't fall asleep, and you could yell at me. Okay. So this is to the idiot Bones. You think that foreign invaders can come across the border and have the same rights as a United States citizen. They get a court hearing, they get a lawyer, they get everything. Didn't I hear you say that?
I don't grant that these people were foreign invaders. I don't know what debate you're watching, but it clearly wasn't this one.
Okay. I guarantee you it was this one.
Field it for you.
Okay, so here, I'll field this for you. When you come into this country illegally, without permission, that is a crime. USC subsection 1325. Yeah, if you want to talk US code and you want to talk,
that's for crossing the border. By the way, that's for like specifically
crossing the border. What did I just say?
Do you know what else you can do to overstay your welcome in America? Guess what?
Yeah, come into this country, get a visa.
You can violate a visa
here without permission.
Civil offense, and that's a civil offense.
It is not. That is a civil offense.
It is. Yeah,
it is.
Okay,
I agree with that.
So not every illegal is a criminal. Then
wait a minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Spin City News. You're doing great.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You might want to fix the game.
If you are here,
like peeking the fuck out right now. You're like peaking.
Am I? Okay, hold on. Let me turn it down. Let me turn it down. This
a little bit, and you'll be fine.
This headset's new to me, so forgive me.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, how about that? Am I peeking out now?
You're doing a little bit better now. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. I'll take care of it on my own.
So, okay, sorry. Thanks, Sarah. So back to what I was saying, Bonehead. You cannot cross this border without permission. If you overstay your visa, if you overstay your welcome in this country, the United States has the right to throw you the fuck out. Would you agree or would you disagree?
Yeah, so long as the person is able to so long as the person's able to challenge it in court, absolutely.
Challenge it in court?
Yeah, absolutely.
These people they are illegally in the United States of America. What
do you understand what habeas corpus is? Wait, Spin City, do you understand what habeas corpus is?
I'm not going to argue semantics with habeas corpus.
Do you understand what habeas corpus is? Yes or no?
Do you have the right to habeas corpus?
Yes.
Answer the question.
Absolutely.
Are you a United States citizen? Are you a United States citizen? What
the question you should actually be asking is, do non-US citizens have the right? Yes, absolutely. They do actually have the right to habeas corpus as well. This is like very obvious under JGB
planet did you fall off of?
No,
the same one where the Supreme Court
hole in the brain stops right wingers from understanding this.
FAG, mute up, please. It's only one. Thank you.
So yeah, I live on the same planet where JGB Trump are like what they did was they sided with the plaintiffs and they said, yes, all these people that were accused of being trained to Agua, this is the entire debate. I don't know why you couldn't figure that out in the 2 hours that we were on this, but guess what? They have the right to habeas corpus as well. And they have the opportunity to do so as necessary. So yes.
Okay. I hear your argument, but they are not
you hear the Supreme Court
as citizens.
Doesn't matter. I'm so sorry. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I yield the floor.
Thank you, Spin. All right, Vibe.
I don't know why you'd yield on that.
Vibe, you. God damn it. Vibe to you, please.
Oh man, after that conversation, now I want to divert. But originally, I actually wanted to see if I could find a common point between Andrew and Bones, right? So
absolutely.
Essentially, I always look at things like at the very base level before we build up to the top levels. And the base level would be, what do we just allow people to come to this country for whatever, right? Or do we say, hey, there is a limit, and if you go over that limit and you don't apply to our limits, then it's illegal, right? Or, and by the way, undocumented, stupid word, there's tons of undocumented drunk drivers. It's just because they didn't get caught yet, right? But they're still drunk drivers, right? So I mean, undocumented. By the way, remove that from your fucking vocabulary because it doesn't exist. There are not undocumented immigrants here. There are illegal immigrants here because they didn't follow our policies. But I do want to ask, at the very base level, not Trump, not ICE, not the way we're enforcing it, Bones of Doom and Andrew, would you guys both agree that we have to have some sort of limit of who we accept in and when we accept them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should limit them insofar as if they start to negatively impact us fiscally in the long term. Let's say there's like too many of them and not enough of them are getting assimilated, and we are able to demonstrate that economic effect, then absolutely we should probably curb it a little bit and maybe restructure our economy a little bit to be able to either A, better take care of them and to be able to utilize them a bit better, or B, maybe slow down on immigration entirely and like explore different options.
And that's really interesting the way that you phrased that. It was almost like an after fact. Like, we should let them in, but if they don't fit the mold, then maybe we should discuss it. Or would you say that we should maybe make a mold before we let them in?
Like, if they impact us negatively in terms of like the economic effects, then I believe there are.
I mean, but once again,
there are models that exist that allow us to that allow people to be able to predict this, but it's not just something post talk. Is what I'm saying.
Well, wouldn't that be part of the immigration on whether we give you a green card or not? Like, they go through the immigration process. We go, okay, what's in your bank account? Are you going to be a drain? We actually interview them for this before we actually grant them that card to come in. Correct?
State that question one more time.
So to get a green card, if you're from another country and you want to come to the United States,
I'll be muted.
You have to go through an interview process, right? And the interview process is basically saying, hey, are you going to be a drain? What you were just basically stating, are you going to be a drain before we bring you in, right? And the way you were phrasing it kind of sounded like maybe we should determine that after you come in. So do you think we should determine it before or after?
So it would just be determined by some like kind of threshold, whether it
before
be like
or
a
after,
gross amount of,
before they come in or after they come in.
I believe there are models that can predict this, so it would probably be like sometime like simultaneously. I'd have to guess. Like it would be the case like right? if we like reach a like certain number of people and like let's say per day and like there's a limit to it and then it starts being negative or then it starts having a negative effect on the economy, then sure. Then there are ways to like curtail the immigration in that case. I believe
you're still not
there was a policy there was an immigration bill that I believe limited the amount of entries to like 5,000 a week or something like that. If it was found that there were too many people coming in a short period of time. I don't remember the exact numbers on that, but like again, it's probably a different threshold, but like those exist for a reason. No?
Yeah, and what is the reason that they exist?
The reason is specifically is we need to be able to accommodate for those people and account for them properly.
Exactly. And can we account for them if they're undocumented?
No, but I also have ideas for remedies for that. Specifically in the debate, I mentioned that we need to have more immigration judges and that there's a shortage of them. And that the only way to be able to process legal requests is to get them through the immigration process and have them see the court in that case. And
I know I'm probably overdoing it, but I got you there. But your habeas corpus thing, right? So if I was born in Italy and I murder somebody in the Philippines, right? I don't have habeas corpus in the United States, right? I'm illegal. I don't have anything. But if I'm Italian,
if you're not in the U.S., then you do not have habeas. You have habeas corpus the moment you step into America's boundaries.
That's my question. So if I illegally break into the United States, not even get a green card, right? I come over the border as an Italian and I murder a Filipino in the United States. Now I get due justice, even though I'm not an American citizen. So this is basically what I'm saying. It's like it's like for murder there. Right, under our court system, even though I'm not even part of our system.
Yes, because you committed murder in America. Yeah.
Right. Why not just send them back to their country and let them deal with it?
Because now you're letting a criminal run loose potentially, and we have the ability to prosecute them here.
We also have the ability to send them back to Italy and let them deal with it, and not spend our taxpayer dollars on somebody that crossed the border illegally.
But they committed a crime in America, right? So it's in America's jurisdiction.
Okay, well then let's just change it that they killed somebody in the Philippines and they illegally break in here, do they have habeas corpus here when we're illegally extraditing them? Like, what is the point that they're not even a citizen of the United States? All you have to do is
you don't understand. Every person inside the borders
I do understand this.
It's their right.
So all I have to do is dip my pinky toe into the United States border, and all of a sudden I get all these justifications that I don't get anywhere else in the world.
You may think this,
even though I did it illegally. Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't know why you think it's absurd, but yes, absolutely, you do get your right to habeas.
Brilliant. I'll pass it on to the next one because you are crazy.
We can tap back into it. We can tap back into it once we open it all back up. Mr. Balderson, welcome back, sir. We missed you the other night.
Hello.
You're welcome to go, sir.
Good to see you again, Balderson.
Good to see you. And good to see you back, Sarah. We missed you. And Andrew, was it okay when they suspended the habeas corpus for the January 6th offenders?
No. So people in America get habeas corpus, people that are here. Yeah. And at one point in time, not everybody here, and that's always been the case, have been non-citizens. Every single person that comes here gets habeas corpus. The Constitution, whether you like it or not, is what controls the government. That's the laws against them. All the other laws are against us. The Constitution is against them. And when we start allowing them to break them, funny enough, they all just start breaking them. And habeas corpus is one that for the last so many presidencies, they've decided that they can break at will and just make up a good excuse. Well, I think that again is like just assigning bad intentions to them. You guys see, this does need to be litigated. Habeas corpus. I definitely am assigning bad intentions. Right. They definitely want to take away our constitutional rights and have proven so over and over. Okay, fine. But that's not really relevant. You're saying that my point is that habeas corpus, there's obviously two different opinions on it. Right. So like you guys are saying habeas corpus, they deserve a day in court. They deserve a day in court. And what Boy Scout is saying, and what I'm trying to say is, like Bones, if someone came in and overstayed their visa, what is there to litigate? We know they overstayed their visa. They started the documentation process. You said it's not criminal, it's civil. So if they have a deportation order, which is signed by a judge, you guys seem to be missing this point. How do you think they get this deport? That's their fucking habeas corpus. The judge looked it over and fucking signed it. Like they know that this person has a legal habeas corpus means bring me to body. What is there to litigate? My body to court. Litigate. There's nothing to litigate there. The person is illegal. There's a deportation order. There's no fucking habeas corpus. And this is why this stuff needs to go to the Supreme Court, because you guys seem to think that we just are evil and hate and want to throw people out. But what we're saying is, no, this is stupid. It's a waste of taxpayer money. There's no reason to litigate this. And we need to protect Americans. That's what we're saying. That thought process is as stupid as saying every single fucking person that goes to court, all the guilty ones shouldn't fight it. They shouldn't get their day in court. They're guilty. You know you're illegal. You know they're guilty. You know what? I listened to you fucking parade on. Shut the fuck up for a minute. We know that they're guilty, so they don't get a day in court. That's what the fucking day in court is there for, to determine that.
If I may add, there's actually a leaked memo inside the DHS that said that ICE is authorized to illegally enter homes without a judicial warrant, or to enter homes without a judicial warrant under the Fourth Amendment, by the way. Yeah, but what about... not all of these warrants are being signed by judges. There are some administrative warrants that are being signed that people are trying, that ICE agents specifically are trying to use to break into homes, which is illegal. Again, it's got to be litigated. You guys say illegal, ruining the Constitution, blah, blah. We're saying let the court system. Every time the government does something against the Constitution, it doesn't mean that was illegal. Huh?
Every time they break the Constitution, that was illegal. Only they don't go to jail like we do.
But do you understand that when your side is in power, our side says the same thing about you? It's just a
Your
back and
side,
forth.
I don't think Balderson's a
interpretation.
leftist.
Who's your side, dumb fuck? Did you hear me say when either of your dipshit sides is in power, you break the Constitution?
No.
Wrap it up, Ben.
Did you catch that?
Whoever's in power, the other side claims that they're destroying the Constitution, and then
Both sides are right when they're saying.
That always happens to both sides. You think, look,
they're both
you think
doing
it's
it.
only your side? Is that what you think, Bones? You think people don't think that the same thing about you on the other side? That's why we have these.
Oh yeah, they all get litigated in court, and guess what? Like there are things that Biden did that got shut down by the Supreme Court too. I believe the fucking loans, the student aid loans, trying to get rid of those. Yeah, wait, no, I'm not whining. I'm agreeing with you. There are some things that under Biden that got struck down by the Supreme Court.
So it's working the way it's supposed to. That's my point.
Yeah, when someone tries to enact something that's really stupid and bad, and the Supreme Court has to shut them down, guess what? Like there are people that are affected by this negatively, regardless. But I don't know. You just don't seem to think that there's any harm in people getting deported to CCOT without any due process. So
To them, maybe.
I don't know what to tell you.
America.
All
Yeah,
right.
that is
fine,
a
as long as they get convicted.
FJ,
Yeah.
shut up.
Sorry, I can't help it.
You can't talk yet. That's why you hit the mute button and you talk to yourself. Obstacles, I'd like to move it over to you, sir.
Hey, shout out to everybody. And Balderson, you're pretty funny, man. You'd be one of those juries that they say you can't stand trial because you're like, fuck the government. I'm not left or right. And they'll be like, hey, that witness is biased. Get him out of here. So shout out to you, though. I feel your passion. My question will go to Bones. And I think, Bones, you just said this recently. Didn't you just say, like, we need more judges? Did I get that right?
Absolutely. I agree.
So I think even maybe Andrew can agree with that, possibly, right? So I think that's one point where we could, yeah, right? We could agree with that. Maybe what else is something else? Like maybe more lawyers, because if you need more judges, you probably need more lawyers, right? Because there's more cases, etc.
To flesh that position out, actually, I think that there needs to be like more funding going into like immigration law in general. I think we should have organizations that are able to fund these things and push people through to make them immigration lawyers. And for those immigration lawyers that want to step up and enact or rule on laws regarding the country, then push them into the judiciary as well and get them trained to do that. I think there should be programs to do that. Because you can't just make immigration judges out of nowhere. So I think there should be a plan for that.
So we need more judges, more lawyers. We kind of agree on that still.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, Andrew? You're still on that too, right? Okay, now let's go on the other side, right? Because, we got people who just come here illegally. All right, boom. But what about the people who come legally? Do you also think that maybe we need to have better programs to get people who want to get here legally and who have been applying through proper channels to make that a little bit more better, that system and that process? Would you agree on that too?
Yeah, and I think having more immigration judges allows more people to be able to go through the process quicker. I think that is like perfectly conducive to my goals. And also something slightly different.
I was talking about, Bones, I was still talking about people in their origin country, right? So this is the embassy side of things, like the Department of State, right? So no, we got the jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. We agree, like more lawyers and more judges. Now I'm going to DOS, right? Because there's many ways to come at this, right? Immigration, period. So you believe
are you
that
talking about asylum claims as well?
Yeah, better embassies, better processes. There's people, I know Colombia who wants to come. She will not come illegally, but it's taken her a long time to try to get there, right? And
absolutely,
so that's something that we could probably approve. I'm sure Andrew will probably also agree on that, right?
Yeah.
So these are the points that we do agree, right?
Yeah,
and
sure.
So I think we can just land it there, right? Because I think those are a lot of solutions that we figured out amongst across the board versus me saying you're a dipshit or Andrew's an asshole and racist. I don't think that gets me very far. I think it's just something
I called him racist once.
Not you, somebody else did. Somebody else insinuated it, right? I think that was effigy actually. But net, what about just my last point? So we got the judges, we got the lawyers, we got the.
I do have a couple more things regarding
why
I think Trump is like bad or certain things. He's actually like raised the requirements to actually file for embassy. I believe there's like a $500 processing fee, whereas originally a $50 processing fee to apply for asylum. And the reason why he cites this is because there's a lot of he claims that there's a lot of people that are kind of just erroneously filing for asylum, or they're doing it so in bad faith, which is not true. And even then, most of the claims for asylum get tossed out anyways, not because of anything malicious, but because they don't have proper standing, or they just don't have there's a specific term for it, but they haven't demonstrated that they're in any danger effectively. And I think just arbitrarily increasing the price to claim asylum in the U.S. Would, one, decrease the amount of people that are able to claim asylum, which would then make it harder for anyone to get asylum here, should they need it.
Okay, so good, because I think we're having a conversation. I at least agree that we have the lawyers, embassy, better processes, more judges. So we believe there's a border, and we just need to litigate it better. Now, what about those things that you were just saying, like the things of H-1B visas? Maybe there's a new discussion also that we need to have around visas and for certain ways people are filing to come to the United States. I believe that's what you were just honing in on, right? How they're filing, what's their purpose, legitimate.
That is one
this
aspect
is where
of
probably it gets a little bit gray, right? Would you agree? It comes a little bit turbulent at this point.
As far as I know about H-1B visas, I know there's claims that they're kind of being abused, but as far as the requirements goes, companies when they are looking for H-1B visa migrants, specifically when they're looking for the people, they have to adequately demonstrate that they cannot fill that position natively. And sure, there's probably some percentage of instances where they actually haven't demonstrated it fully, and either by mistake or by some type of malice, let's say. But I don't think it's a large amount, regardless. And the fact that there are people willing to come in here and contribute to our economy and to contribute to our society, I think is a good thing, regardless. I think we should allow people to.
It's a huge amount. H-1B visas are huge. Sorry.
I'll land the plane there. I think we got pretty far, Bones and Andrew.
Yeah, sure.
We kind of agreed on all that. That was the middle ground. So that's me.
All right, Admiral Gibbs, our resident border
By the way,
patrol.
love the get up in the cigar right there. That is.
Yeah, I
appreciate
it. I like to smoke a man cigar now and again. I feel like it increases testosterone. That's why the libs don't want us to smoke them, is what I hear. That's what I was told by Alex Jones, so it must be true. But yeah, I got a question. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get to see the first portion of this. I was yelling at one of my employees as a dumbass. So, Bones, if I misconstrue your argument, forgive me. But I am going to speak in some generalizations. Many moons ago, the whole reason I came into the debate world was because of immigration. Because there were illegal immigrants coming onto my ranch, like coyotes, and destroying our property and eating our cattle. I got the photos. We posted them before. It's a thing. It's bad, shitty. And then when I told everybody this, you know what they said? Ha ha, fuck you, Rich Lando. Okay, that was what I was told. Now, Bones, I'm not crediting him with saying that. Seems like a nice guy. But I was told that many times by people left. Then I was told there's no immigration problems, right? And then we see this problem. We were told there's no illegal immigrants voting. Find out that's not true at all either. We'll find all these things out. They said, oh, we want to work on amnesty plans. We want to work on, immigration reform. I offered all that in all these debates. Not a single time did they want to take it up and say, I even said, I'll give you all a full year. Everybody gets here for a full year. Amnesty, right? And then after that, I want the most secure North Korea border on the north and south we've ever had, right? Nothing. Studies are coming out now in Texas, mainly, showing illegal immigrants do create more crime. And if you consider now the fact that visas aren't the leader in illegal aliens, it's people that came over here illegally by crossing the border via the coyote system, which is a long-term system where you pay portions to the cartels in perpetuity, which is actually several crimes over years, not just the civil offense of entering here illegally, or they use you to get access to things. That is a problem. Now, I have a question. They didn't care about this until Greg Abbott sent these people to Martha's Vineyard or whatever, right? Why should we believe any word that comes out of the left's mouth in regards to immigration? They clearly hate Americans. And listen, AOC's on file saying it herself. She says we should have hurt the American people more to give them the vote our way. That's on video. So why should we believe you?
So you kind of said a lot of interesting claims. So my position, at least regarding immigration, is that we should have more immigration judges. I think we should we should incentivize the ability for people to legally come into the U.S. And I think that is best done by having more immigration judges, more immigration lawyers, which gives people the higher and better opportunity to be able to be a U.S. citizen. Now, as far as like a mass amnesty, I'm pretty agnostic on mass amnesty. I have not looked too deep into it on what that would entail, what we'd be doing. I don't really have an opinion either way, so I'm not going to speak on that. Regarding immigrants committing more crimes, source needed. There's a Cato Institute study that shows that from like 2013 to 2022, like illegal immigrants and legal immigrants just commit way less crime than native-born citizens. So, and I've also posted it into the chat for you as well. I find your claims pretty unfounded in that case, and also this like whataboutism to the leftist politicians I don't care about.
They don't look at. They don't even ask who the illegal immigrants are that are committing crimes. And then we found with the CIS study that, hey, guess what? After we start going to prisons and asking to find out these people's immigration status, it jumps up from 1.9 per 100,000 murders to 3.9 per 100,000 murders. And that's just with what we know are illegal aliens. So this is what Texas is doing right now. The DPS has confirmed these facts. CIS has posted this out a couple of years ago. And so, like, we're finding out that we've been lied to by academia the whole time. Why, like, you're saying this is a claim, but even if you say what you're saying on face value is true, you agree that coming here illegally and paying the coyotes in perpetuity, which is how the coyote system works, is a crime, right? If you pay into a cartel, you're part of the cartel.
What do you mean? Like, no.
So
if you just had, if
you're the mob, am I committing a crime?
If you're, what are you doing and what are you referring to here?
So, like, all right, how we got illegal crime when we came to the Italian mob, some of the times they got it was RICO cases, yes. But how did we get people? Well, we charged some of the people that were paying protection with racketeering. Same thing. That's a crime. And if these people are paying coyotes indefinitely, which they are, because it's the cartel, they're not going to just let you go. Guess what? You're committing a crime in perpetuity. And that's not even factored in.
Yeah, so guess what? If you step into the foot of the United States and it is found that like you could have been like paying off coyotes, then yeah, absolutely, you should definitely like get your case taken to court. You should be taken to criminal court in this case, and you should have your case litigated, just like everyone else in the U.S. who commits crimes or is accused of committing crimes.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to argue about the in the court thing, but the problem is when y'all say this, right? It sounds like it's just one more fucking excuse, right? Y'all come here and y'all.
An excuse?
It is an excuse because y'all want to sit here and go, oh, everybody needs habeas corpus. Oh, everybody needs this. And then when we try to address the problem, what do? Y'all fight them and protect, I don't know, people like, what's that guy's name? The guy that beat his wife and was part of an immigration scheme where they were actually coyotes, we find out later. Like, and then you're like, this is our hero. Like, why should we believe any of what you're saying?
I don't know who you're referring to. That's not my position. Just because like people I say people should get access to habeas. I understand that my position would allow for people being accused of doing crimes and being convicted of them, which I think is perfectly fine. My position is that they need to have the ability to file habeas regardless, because everyone should be able to challenge the accusations made by the government, regardless of what you've done.
So what you're saying is you don't actually want real change. This is pandering is what this is. I got it. That's what was happening.
Wait, how'd you get that?
Change. You don't want
I don't know,
solved.
I don't know what you're smoking, but like it's clearly like messed up your mental here. So like what do you think? What do you think my statement referred to when I said everyone should be able to get habeas, regardless if they're like some like fucking hero or if they're like a fucking drug trafficker? Like, what do you mean?
Sounds good. That sounds good, right?
Guys.
It's real simple. It sounds good when you say these things, right? And things like, oh, we got to follow international law, we got to follow habeas corpus. But what you're really saying is we're prioritizing people that just got lucky, got thrown over a fence or dug under a fence over the Americans who are paying taxes and getting their property destroyed. Because
that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to prioritize people, Gibbs. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think you're absolutely mistaken. I am not saying that like illegal immigrants who just like put their toes in should like be able to get priority on anything. I think they should just be afforded the same rights as every other person that's within the bounds of the United States should get.
All right, let me just throw a hypothetical in this. Really,
go for it.
If I'm a big boy, I'm a big old boy. If the cartel gets a hot air balloon, puts me in a hot air balloon, and throws me out, and my feet just land on the border, and they saw me get in there, and I have a shirt on that says I have no papers, I'm not a citizen, and they throw me and I land, I suddenly need to go and have tax dollars wasted and spent to get a trial instead of them just going, nope, and putting me in the back of the truck and then taking me back across the border. Is that what you're saying? And fuck you to the rancher that lives
Wait, so are you saying that like, are you doing this in reference to turnarounds? People get turned around all the time at the border.
I don't know. I'm not talking about turnaround. I'm saying they throw me out of the plane. I land in, I don't know, Cousin John's ranch. I destroy a fence landing, and they just instead of just picking me up and taking me back across the border because they saw me get on the fucking hot air balloon, they're saying because they didn't shoot it down, they didn't turn me around in the air. I landed. Now, since I landed on American soil, we got to waste taxpayer dollars. We got to feed this person for an extended period of time, and we got to waste our money while a rancher who lives on the border, because guess where most of your cattle trucking comes from? South Texas. Oh, we're going to say fuck you to some of the most important people that are living dime to dime. That's crazy work. Why do you hate America?
I was correct. You just weren't tracking. These are just you would just be a turnaround situation.
You're not answering.
That is what you're referring to would just be like an instance of like a turnaround. Like you would just be told, hey, go back across the border. I'm about to escort you across the border. Don't do this again.
If you're on American
soil, border encounter.
You get habeas corpus. Yes or no?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so once I land, I deserve habeas corpus, correct? Now I'm okay.
Yes, absolutely. But it's wait, Gibbs. Here's why you're not. Wait, Gibbs, shut the fuck up. Here's why you're not tracking. Gibbs, shut the fuck up. Here's why you're not tracking. Immigrants can just choose to go back across the fucking border. They don't need to litigate in court. If they know what they did was wrong, they can absolutely go back across the border. That's the whole concept of turnarounds. You fucking moron.
I'm the evil one for wanting to.
You're completely. You're just not tracking. I was correct. You were not tracking. You were not tracking. Yes, smoke the cigar a little bit. You were not tracking. You were not tracking. Yes, they still get the opportunity to they get the opportunity to contest their deportation. Absolutely, but they can also just walk the fact. They can walk the fuck back. I don't know what you think the
does it cost money to host a trial? Yes or no?
Yes, it absolutely does cost money to go to trial, but the immigrant can also just choose to turn the fuck around. Like this is like very obvious. Like we have, it's called a turnaround case. It's called a turnaround case. You can just tell you as a border patrol agent and tell the immigrant to turn the fuck around, and if they're fine with turning the fuck around, yes,
we're already on American soil. They get habeas corpus. We're not talking about turnarounds.
Yes, when they challenge their deportation. Yes, when they challenge their deportation.
So you are willing to waste American dollars and tell these people that live on the border to go fuck themselves?
Yes, to preserve habeas corpus.
So property
but these people can also just waive their rights. They can waive that right and just turn the fuck around. That's what turnaround cases are. That's what turnaround cases are, Gibbs. Gibbs, I don't know what the fuck you think you're talking about. I don't know how the fuck you think this is known. My positions here are not disparate at all. These are not two disparate positions here. I don't think you understand what I'm talking about.
They hate Southern ranchers.
Yes, they have the opportunity to get habeas. And we can discuss this in the fucking throwdown. So let's do it.
All right. And we have one final person up here tied up. Are you with us, my friend? You are muted. Okay, I'll bring up Tyler. Tyler. I love Tyler.
Oh,
Tyler,
that's my boy.
You have a question for either of the two.
Well, I mean, I kind of only caught the tail end. I was giving my wife a ride to work and watching it on the way back. Generally, Bones, what I'm seeing here kind of is you don't like Trump-specific policies, is what I gathered from all this. You don't like the
debate topic was Trump's immigration policies and actions are detriment to America. So absolutely, that is the debate prompt. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm trying to clarify really quickly. So
yeah, absolutely.
Detriment to America. So would you say he's not following the law?
Yes. When he violated the rights to habeas for those people in GHG versus Trump, he absolutely did violate their rights.
So a small handful, so the 0.01% of people that have been deportated in that specific instance, he violated the rights. Every other instance, you're saying it's just fine?
No, there are other cases I can refer to as well, if you want.
But even if we take the entire granted cases that were done improperly, it's still a fraction of a percent, right?
There are still cases where people's rights were getting violated.
Yes.
That's the entire point.
But if you add those together,
and to quote Balderson, like if you're violating someone's rights in one case and you're allowed to do so, then you're able to do so in other cases. So
I understand. We're just walking down the trail. I'm putting down my stepping stones real quick is all. So what you're against is him doing things that are illegal. In 99.5%, let's just say for a fun arbitrary number of those cases of deportations, there's been The White House is claiming 2.1 million self-deportations, about 600,000 forceful ICE deportations. Out of those, there's probably been maybe, let's say 2,000 at most, people that have had legitimate claims against the administration. Would you say the rest of them, the other 99.9%, are fine? That's the part that I'm having trouble with.
What do you mean? Like if they all get their right to they all get their right to habeas if it happens to be the case that what the government is saying is correct and accurate, then yeah, they should get deported.
Yeah. Okay. So then that would be the bulk of Trump's actual policies. You're saying some of these more extreme.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, but then why are 99.5% of people not winning lawsuits against the administration if they're getting all their granted rights to them? And can you give me more examples?
My case is that there are instances where Trump is flagrantly like violating the Constitution, and that if he's allowed to do so, then he's able to do so in other cases.
He hasn't been allowed. The Supreme Court ruled against him, especially.
Yes, despite Trump's efforts. Absolutely.
With Zenas specifically, Zenas was the person that ended up getting Garcia brought back. With Zenas and specifically, the Supreme Court ruled with it. Trump did everything that was proposed to him and continued forward. With the ADA
after
in
contesting
particular,
it several times, after saying like, no, I don't have. No, I should not be able to bring back Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Yes, but eventually, once the court case played out and they were given their obligations, they did them. So in these other cases,
and going back to JGG versus Trump, they found that the people that Trump was accusing were part of Tren de Agua under the AEA. They did not get their right to habeas, and so the court ordered that they should have their right to habeas.
Mm-hmm.
So Trump violated. They violated their rights.
Roughly, right? Yeah. So again, I'm thinking.
I don't know why you keep harkening on the 280
because
thing.
I'm granted you.
He violated the Constitution. He violated the Constitution.
I understand that.
And if he continues to do so, and if he's allowed to do so, then guess what? That means he can allow for other rights.
I'm granting you these, but I'm telling you, in the courts, these have played out. He lost the court battles and had to do what was required of him in these instances. He had to give these people their rightful right to. And right now, Abrego Garcia is currently making petitions in court to get his cases dropped against him for human trafficking. It just came out of the story today. So they are given the right. Granted, the administration went too far in certain
after
cases.
Getting caught.
It's a very, very minuscule amount of those cases. So you would say that 99.9% of Trump's actions on this are being done justly, and thus you're probably not against his policies as a whole, just more of these inflammatory anecdotes.
So would you agree that case law is decided on like single instances of potential rights violations, right? That precedents.
Sure, yeah, and definitions.
So what I'm arguing for is that if Trump is trying to establish some sort of precedent that would trample on people's rights, that if allowed to do so, he will continue to do so, and that's a detriment to America right there.
I agree with you in that hypothetical situation, but in this particular instance...
No, this isn't hypothetical. JGG versus Trump happened.
Yeah, I understand that. And it started with Boasberg.
So it's not a hypothetical.
I understand it. It's this hypothetical might happen that you're saying that he's allowed to do it. But the case you're citing was him losing the case and having to undo.
Yeah, because he thinks he thought he was allowed to do it. He got
what
stopped.
You're saying
Therefore,
is a bad thing. It's not happening. He's actually losing these cases in the highest court.
It is no longer happening. There are other cases I can cite that are ongoing.
I mean, there's a lot of things he's won. He's won.
We have like Make the Road, New York v. Noam. Like we also have advocates for human rights v. Department DHS. Like
okay, so unsettled cases, but he's won a ton of cases. He's allowed to use the Alien Enemies Act. He's allowed to take away the most recent case, the challenge that
no one's contesting the ability to use the Alien Enemies Act. He's just doing it wrong in JGG versus Trump.
Yeah, I doing it wrong. And that was 280
I don't know
people.
What do you think I'm trying to contest?
1,000 deportations. That's 0.05%. That means his totality of his policies.
They're rights violations.
You are fine with, unless
they're rights violations.
Anecdote of the few where he actually violates rights.
The idea that like because like these are like a minority of things happening, that it's not like indicative of like a broader goal. Like this is like really stupid. This is really stupid because what he's trying to do is establish some sort of precedent that allows him to.
Yes, I'm arguing that if you're walking down the street and 99.9% of your steps you walk, but 0.1% of them you trip, that doesn't mean that you're walking with the goal to trip. Yes, because 99.5% of the time he did them correctly. And
okay, so I see the disconnect now. I see the disconnect now. So I'm just going to go back to
if he was right here.
So Tom Homan, when he was being when the DC courts said that, hey, you have to turn the planes back around from going from CCOT, and you have to take them back to the U.S. Tom Homan effectively told them to fuck off.
Yeah, and that was
like
Boasberg.
that.
Yeah, that was Boasberg.
They don't care. They don't care about what the judges think.
No. Boasberg didn't have authority. We found that out later. Boasberg took that up to the Supreme Court. So the court told him he didn't have proper jurisdiction. He's received one writ of mandamus, which is the highest discipline a judge can get for ignoring the higher courts. So there's multiple instances of judges going against Trump, ignoring the Supreme Court, ignoring the higher courts, ignoring the appeals courts.
Yeah, what did he do specifically? What did he do specifically?
Boasberg?
Yeah.
He tried to go after Trump for, contempt of court. And since he didn't even have the authority to bring the case, it was judge shopped to him from a different district. Since he didn't even have the authority to try the case, they told him, you don't have the authority to try the case. We're going to go forward with it anyways, but you're off of it. You lose the rights. You're out of here, Boasberg.
So then why did the Supreme Court take the appeal then, if there was no standing?
Because they still had the. I want to say another party brought the case up, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, or they continued the case but took him particularly off of it. I don't remember the exact details, but he was removed from it because he didn't have the proper authority. What that was a power grab from a district court judge to affect federal policy, and he was slapped down and given a writ of mandamus because of it. You're taking people that ignored the Supreme Court, ignored the laws, ignored the rules to go after Trump with powers they didn't have and saying they're perfectly fine, but Trump messing up 0.5% of the time means I hate all of his policies.
So no, you're just talking about contempt of court. It's not talking about the relative substance of everything else going on. So
yeah, that's why he was given a writ of mandamus.
Yeah. So I just don't grant everything else. I just grant the contempt of court part. I don't know,
Okay.
Andrew, I believe you wanted to add a thought into that, and then we will shift over to the gauntlet. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, a couple things. I liked where Boy Scout was going about the vetting process. We didn't get to fully explore. We'll talk more about it in the gauntlet, I hope. But during that interaction, Bones was saying, oh, if they come here and they're like a financial drain, then we should do something about it. And I'm sitting there thinking the whole time, you mean like $9 billion in fraud? Would that be a financial drain? You mean like how Trump removed?
Yeah, remember when like Tim Walz prosecuted all those people in Minnesota and the 94 people?
Exactly what you were saying should be happening.
Absolutely,
is exactly what's happening, because then Trump removed their temporary status because he saw the financial drain, which is exactly what you asked for, and it's exactly what happened. So you may not like the framing of it, but you're getting what you're asking for. And it dawned on me this whole time, you keep pounding this thing home, habeas corpus. Like this is the thing, right? Absolutely. It's so important, habeas corpus. And it dawns on me that we built this country and Western civilization on the fucking opposite of habeas corpus. We built this country on stay the fuck away from us or we're going to kill you, on crusades to keep our culture instead of an Arab culture. We built this country on Western civilization in general on fucking Islamophobia, to be honest. So you want to talk about what's good for Western civilization and not be fake about it, and what's good to keep America what it is. And I think this is a good way to go to the gauntlet because it's divisive. But think about what the Crusades were. It's the opposite of what you are promoting, and it's what gave us Western civilization. So I think we did a pretty fucking good job without listening to dumbass things like habeas fucking corpus. It makes no sense, and we need to defend our homeland. And that's my last point.
All right, let's hold that thought. I'll hand it over to you once we switch over. If you know where you're going, the gauntlet is officially open. Otherwise, it has been dropped into the live chat. Move over to the gauntlet now, or you will catch the raid. While you are moving, which you're going to do right now. While you are moving over, I'm going to read some super chats that kindly came in during that little banter of fun. You guys are really just sparking it off tonight. And I want to say thank you to all of the panelists. You all came in with some amazing questions and good insight to bring to the table. The boots are officially on the table now since we're on the gauntlet, which means if you are a panelist, people can pay $10 measly out of their pocket into mine to boot you from the panel backstage, and then you have to wait back in line again, and we will bring up the next person in line backstage. All right, that's how this rolls. We have a lot of fun, and it can go pretty fast. So if you're waiting backstage, don't worry, it won't take long. All right. So Nuke sends in the Big Ten, says it's all lies. This is a boot for Vibe to choose. So Vibe, you have the power right now to pick any and anyone, except for, of course, our two main debaters. They are safe for the entirety of the evening, Bones and Andrew. So Vibe, choose wisely.
Yeah, I've never had a choice to boot, but I think that anybody that's cammed up is always more entertaining. So I'll just take I can't do Andrew, just cam down. Damn it!
Well, Andrew and Bones are the original.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I can't. So everybody's cammed up. Oh man, I don't want to do this now.
Just
sorry,
pick.
Spin City News, you're out.
All right, Spin City out, and Lucas is finally back up and running. He had some Wi-Fi issues, so that worked out really well. And then we've got Tied Up waiting backstage next, and of course, Spin City is back on cue. Oh, looks like Lucas might have just cam down, Lucas. It'll help for now until your Wi-Fi catches up. Fourth Wiseman in with the Big Ten says Remedy resides in UCC. The point you lot are bordering on yet what? Hold on. The point you lot maybe lost. The point you lost are bordering on yet
lot.
Not lot. The
It's
point
just lot just means like a group of people.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? The point you lot are bordering on yet not touching upon is standing, i.e., what is this? SICOR, standing intent claim of right. Anybody have a thought to that?
Maybe it's talking about like the administrative official ones. Maybe.
If I had to wager what he's talking about, and this is from my very short period in law school, I think this is a procedural thing. I think he's talking about who should be taking it, whether it should be states or the federal or the Supreme Court, and like who's got jurisdiction. That would be what I'm wagering. But like, unlike some of these other, frankly, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
I just want to comment on the
one.
Does Vibe
We're real bad.
Effigy's actual face?
What's up, Ben?
Curious. Vibe, do you think that's Effigy's actual face?
No.
No, not at all.
Like, oh, everybody's on camera except for him and Effigy.
I know. I was waiting for. I wasn't gonna point it out because Effigy's like rarely gets booted, but we love having him on. So
the crazy thing is yeah, I've never seen his face. He's always been there, so I actually look at him as cammed up.
Yeah,
just because that's him.
Anyone that has the virtual camera thing going on, I consider that a cam up. And I also respect privacy, but they'll hit you from the chat if you're not cammed up. Calvin
unlike
comes
the government sometimes.
True. Calvin comes in with the Big Ten, says if even non-citizens held offshore in wartime were granted constitutional habeas protections, it's legally incoherent to argue that people physically inside the U.S. are outside the Constitution. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I got thoughts. It's called we're the superpower and we bomb the shit out of people all the time without fucking giving them a day in court. Remember when's the last time we asked Osama bin Laden for his day in court? Oh no, we didn't. We just shot him. I mean, we can look at that. So yeah, that's total bullshit.
Outside the U.S. though.
Yeah, that's what he just said. That's what he said.
Non-citizens
threat, held offshore in wartime. And so then we're going to talk about. Y'all remember the Patriot Act? That we had Guantanamo Bay. We had special black site areas. There's a lot of fuckers that aren't getting habeas corpus. So this is why I put up my friend here, in this very real photo that we took myself of someone being tossed over the border. So I don't know if y'all seen Air Force One. But remember when they intercept the plane in air? What he's proposing for a turnaround is somehow having like an Apache or a Chinook come in and catch this guy with a net before he lands and then landing him back over there and turning it around. Now, I think that's probably more expensive than even the habeas corpus. But the minute this guy lands, he gets all the rights of all his trial, and the person that owns that land can
absolutely
go fuck themselves. Yeah, that's crazy.
No.
But
what habeas actually
go for it.
is when you file to the government, hey, government, why do you have me in custody? That's literally all habeas is.
It's bring me to court. It's bring me to court.
That's not a big deal to make immigrants do. Giving them 3 weeks to appeal before you deport
3
them
weeks
is not a big deal.
All right. How much does it cost to feed them?
And guess what?
Like $20?
Guess what? You can say, hey, like, I'm sorry, I did actually cross the border. I'm gonna go turn around. That's why there's a lot of these things called turnarounds, because people don't want to go through like all the legal shit, and they just want they got caught. They can just leave at that point.
Okay, so I just want to go through time.
But regardless, they're still afforded the rights to habeas either way.
Let's just go through what you just said, Tyler. So they're here for 3 weeks. Let's just say that that's the true fact, right? So they get what, 3 meals a day?
This isn't in your specific.
Hold on. They get 3 meals a day.
About border crossing.
I got you. 3 meals a day while in the holding facility.
Yes, this is going to be more applied to people that overstayed visas. Yes,
I don't give a shit about that. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about border jumpers, right? They jump the border, so they and for the record, guys, I'm the only Hispanic here. I can say
no. Wait, no. I'm also half Hispanic. Hold on.
All right. Well, we have 2 Latinos here. Well, anyway, back to what I'm saying. So when I say if we jump the border, they're going to have to pay for the gas to take them to the facility. We're going to have to pay for the food while they're held here. Oh, so we're starving.
No. So if border hoppers, if you get caught jumping the border, you get deported immediately. You don't need a trial or anything.
That's not true at all.
Also, secondly,
I know that's not true. I've seen them get picked up, and they have cases. They have
there's caveats. It's more complicated than just half the sentence.
But that's the problem, Tyler. That's what I'm trying to.
They have to.
Tyler. This is the problem, Tyler. I'm having with what you're saying. Okay, is you're sitting here going, hey, all these things have to happen, right? We got all this bullshit. It's more complicated. It shouldn't be that complicated. Right? Just because you fucking land on here, or maybe not. Anyway, just because you land on here doesn't mean that you should be getting all this special treatment, right? If you land here, first of all, are they reimbursing the rancher whose fucking fifth probably got destroyed? No. We're paying the border guards that had to pick them up, and now they're having to hold them. So we're also paying a security guard and probably a security company. Cool. Now we're paying a lawyer because, hey, guess what? Everybody's entitled to representation. Okay, cool. Then we're paying the judge. We're paying the staff. Like, at what point do you just say enough is enough? Why do you hate Americans? Because guess who's paying for that? Us. I'm paying for that. Where's tax return season? 40% of Americans got tax refunds. I sure as fuck didn't. And guess where it's going? It's complicated bullshit. Shit's got to change. It's got to change now. And why do you hate Americans?
Trump proved you can secure the border without dumping a ton of money into it. We don't need judges here. Most border deportations, because it's a big catch umbrella term, are people turned down at the border. When they come to the border,
do you agree deterrence? Do you agree deterrence works?
Hold on, you just gave me a whole spiel about how I hate America. They have the right to apply for asylum. A lot of people that are turned out at the border just leave. A small percentage of them apply for asylum. When asylum was loosened up under Joe Biden and Barack Obama using reasonable or credible fear, we had a lot of people abusing that system. Under Trump, it was up to reasonable fear. That abuse is now gone. It has to do with who's in the executive making those decisions to deport people, but the laws actually do work if you follow them. We already have the system in place to make it happen. The reason why we do this is because the government has to prove the people on U.S. soil they're going after are actually who they say they are. That's all habeas is.
Do you agree deterrence works? Like, if you think you're going to die trying to cross the border, you're
absolutely,
probably not going to do it. Okay, so you would be more okay and I know you're going to say yes to this because you're a morally consistent person that values consistency. You would much more prefer the IDF model of the border control, where we just drone strike the shit out of everybody trying to cross.
That's not the IDF model.
That would be fair because it's equal to the same. They're facing an invasion from foreign invaders that are hostile, much like the cartel. In fact, we have people like Hezbollah who are directly related to the cartels with Trinidad and shit in the cartel of the sun. So you agree that Israel's got the right idea, and we should just start killing every immigrant that tries to cross into our border illegally.
That's not what it is.
Then why are you going back on your Jewish pro-Zionism takes? Because I've heard you argue for this many times, and now you flip-flop. This is why you're not a true conservative. This is a true flip-flop right here. This is why he's still a Dem.
My feelings being hurt isn't going to win you the argument, unfortunately.
I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just asking you to be morally consistent.
But at the end of the day, when they're on U.S. soil, we have constitutional protections for everybody, even non-citizens.
What is Wonder Woman's name? The actress? What's her name? Gal Gadot. When Gal Gadot was mowing down innocent women and children trying to come in to Israel, allegedly, You were sitting here jacking off to it. And now that you're a married man, suddenly you have a heart. Fake news. Frankly, I don't believe it.
20%
You're
of
lying.
Gaza
You
had
hate
work
Americans.
permits
You
inside
want
of
to tax the
Israel.
shit out of us. Why?
Almost 20% of Gazans before October 8th had work permits in Israel. They were coming and going every
Well,
single
sure as fuck
day.
don't now.
Just because people want to do bad things doesn't mean it's a bad thing to spend money on it. Just because we never stop murders doesn't mean when it's enough and we stop, or we stop dumping money into schools.
Do you agree we should kill every cartel member? Probably that's like trying to invade America.
Not everyone, but I mean.
So see, this is just like Trump said. He would be sitting down right now during the State of the Union. That's what Tyler would be doing. He would be sitting there with Ilya Omar chanting KKK.
Our officers should be
unacceptable.
Killed. That's it.
I can't believe it. This guy, I'm gonna call him Average Omar.
You got a lot of ad homs out, but at the end of the day, like protections are a good thing. You'll be happy when you get arrested for being the degenerate you are that these things exist. Trust me.
Tyler, all I'm saying, there's no ad hoc. I just want to point out you were very morally inconsistent to all your other debates previously. You have backed the harshest border policies in the world. The only one with more harsh border policies is probably North Korea, and you said those were great. So I can't believe your belt flip-flopping now.
Israel is a very loose border. Had before October 7th, a very loose border. A tenth of the.
All right, guys, I have to bow out, but I do have one question here, which is just baffling my mind. So the only thing you have to do to get U.S. legal rights is break the U.S. law.
You understand?
No, you just have to be within the borders of the United States.
You understand that
by breaking the law,
protect the guilty ones, because they're still going to go get punished. The same punishment. It's there to protect the rest of us, and we all get that same chance. Our day in court. Getting a day in court isn't some awesome thing. Like, that just means that if you're not guilty, you get that chance.
I agree. I love having my day in court.
You could have like a work visa or a green card or otherwise, and you could still be afforded the rights to habeas, by the way. So that's like an instance where you're not a citizen.
The only thing I have to do to get habeas corpus is break into this country.
Nope, that's not the requirements. You just have to be within the borders of the country. If you have a work visa, you are neither committing a crime, and you're also inside the borders of the U.S. And so, guess what?
If you get a work visa and it expires, then you are now illegally here and documented. By the way,
once it expires, absolutely.
But you're not a citizen. But you're not a citizen.
The easy question here:
but you don't have to commit a crime.
The government have to prove that you're here illegally to deport you.
Yes,
I would say so. I mean, I would say
that's
essentially
that's all habeas is. Prove why you have this person in prison. That's all it means.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, right? You're undocumented. You don't have the proof. You're out. You don't need to freaking go to court for that. We don't need to waste tax. We don't need more judges. We don't need look at exactly what happened with ICE. Right? I originally asked the question of the base, right? Like, should we just let anybody in here? And I think even Bones of Doom said, no, we shouldn't. We should have restrictions, right? So should we enforce it? Well, now ICE is the enforcement. Now, is ICE being executed correctly? Well, I think we might have scaled that a little bit too crazy, and throwing people through 20 days of training and throwing them on the street, maybe not the best idea.
Hold on. Now you're fucking up. They're not being aggressive enough. We got millions of these fuckers here. They gotta go.
Yeah, so let's have a bunch of untrained agents just go around and throw people around. Yeah, that'll definitely.
I'll back you, Bones, there. But the reason I went to the base was: do we all agree that we need to control immigration? And I think the consensus is yes. And the control is ICE. Now, that escalates to a new question. Are we escalating ICE properly to control that properly, right? And now I would have some contentions there. I do think ICE is a necessary agent. I do not say fuck ICE. I just think that maybe we scaled it too fast and the oversight is not adequate. You can disagree with me, Gibbs, but come on. We know I actually know somebody who that had 20 days of training and they're on ICE, right? And they're not qualified to be doing.
Bro, you know what I know? I literally could go right now. I could go down to about 15 companies that are directly ran by the cartel. Like, they own them, right? I could go down and I could I can introduce you to all sorts of crazy wild people. And you'd be like, holy shit, how are these people here? And you're worried about 20 fucking days? We need to be putting every fucking, you know what we should do? Let's round up the hobos, give them 5 days of training, give them some guns, and go send them in there. At least these
James,
people
I'm so sorry.
This
That's like
isn't far
profoundly
off
retarded.
from
That's
this
so
isn't,
retarded.
but this isn't far off from just deputizing men in a community and sending them
Yeah.
off to handle something, and that is
Sure,
part
it
of
works for
history.
a long time.
Yeah.
It's called posses. We did that for a long time. In fact, we should bring
Yeah,
back
so
posses.
yeah, let's let the
mob.
mob fucking lynch everyone in their site. Yeah,
No, it won't be
that
the
works.
mob. It would be government. Hold on, y'all are the statist here.
Sir.
Like, y'all are the ones who are like okay with having the government decide, hey, you gotta have 2 IDs to shovel snow, but hey, 20 days training to go fucking
Yeah,
get rid of these
you do
illegals.
have to have documentation to be able to get a job. I'm
Yeah,
so
but just
sorry,
not to
Gibbs.
vote.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry
not
you're
to
new to this.
vote, not to come here, but hey, just to shovel snow.
When you get empower people,
Which
to
is why we have
other people inhumanly, they carry that over to the next group every time.
So let them. Like, you know who they can't carry over? No more people if we got North Korea's border.
You know who I'm going to kick? The next person that interrupts me. Vibe, I'm going to start moving through super chats. I heard you say you had to go. I didn't want to, if you needed to make an exit statement now, feel free to jump in before I start moving along.
Yeah. My exit statement is self-promotion. Go Vibe on YouTube and subscribe. And I expect that to go up by 100 after this. So that's it.
Fair enough. Thank you, Vibe. We appreciate you.
And love everybody on this panel, by the way. Appreciate you guys.
Vibe.
Absolutely. Good to see you, man. Also, Boy Scout. You were a Boy Scout too, I'm assuming?
No, I call him a Boy Scout. Yeah.
Yeah, I was Vibe.
similar.
I just came on here out of I've been Boy Scout all day today, so just in honor of Sarah, because she called me a Boy Scout.
Fair enough.
Texas
valor.
bully mom, right? Texas bully mom in with the Big 10 just to complete the goal over on the other side of Raging Tomato. And shout out if you made your way over here, congratulations, you figured out where our secret hideout is. And she sends in another Big 10 just because she loves me and she knows I like the quiet donos. Also, Cheat Town Deke over on, I believe it's on Twitch watching, sent it a Big 5, says wowzers, supporting nonsense, even from a ruling from the Supreme Court doesn't mean it's legit or constitutional. As far as the Carol Jean thing, Trump wasn't charged for sexual assault, but the instructions were so vague on purpose to give space to nutters to convict him. Again, on nonsense. And it's on a state level mystery charges. Oh, wait, they didn't have charges, just accusations on a civil suit. Keep holding on to your nonsense. And this one is to you, Bones.
Wow. Okay. I guess I really should have bought the tinfoil hat for that. Okay. I'm so sorry. The Supreme Court, they have the last word when it comes to arbitrating on constitutional matters. I don't know what the rest of that fluff was about, but yeah, no, that's my point there.
All right. Fourth Wiseman with the Big 10 says, in regards to lies via academia, you lot have to, are you just saying lot just to irritate me now? You lot have to realize the simple truths like, i.e., wordage being people is peon plus